Hello, fellow humans. Welcome to the highlight, a show where we send off yet another Western team, this time Fly, with honors, and in my opinion, even more honors than G2 for what they managed to do in this extraordinary series, which, in case you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's one of the best, if not the best series this year's Worlds has produced, and I can only recommend you watch all 5 games for yourselves, and well, I couldn't resist to honor this series myself, which with a video on what exactly Fly managed to do to make the East sweat for the first time in, well, I don't even know how much. I was saying to a colleague earlier the day, at least a decade, probably a bit less than that, honestly, but in this game, Fly showed some really nice ideas in the series in general, in fact, and I just want to do a bit of explaining and show you guys what I mean when I say that Fly here indeed managed to pull off something that's been theorized about for quite a bit, but, well, up until now hasn't really been done, and that is, well, if you're familiar with chess, you might know the term of positional chess, or like playing more strategically, and this is the equivalent of that. If you look at FlyQuest comp, then you can see they've drafted disengage, 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 and then 2 backline carries. And what that makes their comp play out as is, as well, just doing nothing. And I know that sounds weird, but like, look at the game state. There's been 0 kills in 10 minutes, Fly have a Drake, gold is completely even. And this is exactly what they want to be. And you can also see in this game state, like, Fly are chilling in groups, like they have control, they are coordinated, and then all they do for the rest of the game pretty much is they just sit there and wait for GENG to do something. And then they respond. So watch this fight. Keen ults in, TP comes in as a response immediately, Trophy goes for flank, and boom, gets insta-engaged. And one shot. Bro can play the game. And now that GENG have committed and show their hands, Fly is able to clean up, but only as a reaction to GENG's engage. And this is the central theme of this game. Fly only ever do something after GENG provoke it. And there's several more examples in this game for this kind of behavior. The next one is at roughly minute 13, where you can see a mid play coming. Yeah, the Hens gets a bit impatient here and is like, yo, look, I got my man Canyon behind quad. Bro's a Seraphine, Bro's immobile, let's try to make a play. And then you can see Inspired is just sitting there waiting for GENG to go for a play on his vulnerable mid laner. They do, and oh, he's there right in time to counter it. And again, as a result, FlyQuest are allowed to re-engage and then take 2 kills of their own. And this is pretty much the story of the entire game. You might say this is boring and like Fly isn't actually doing anything, they're just waiting. But to me, there's a certain strategic beauty to this that I think is going underappreciated if you don't like properly look at what's actually happening. And then, of course, there's also some parts of the game where this is still an unorthodox playstyle, right? So for the most part, Fly also still have some difficulty like executing this. And then there's one example here where Fly prepare the Herald again, and what they should just be doing is starting the Herald, because like, look at this. They have so much control actually. They have ward here, ward here, ward here. Speedwave is pushed in, like control ward, control ward, control ward. Nothing can happen to you if you just start this Herald. But instead they're like, you know what? We see Keen top. We have like numbers advantage here, 5-4. Let's try to force this tower. And then this is the only way that the game can really go wrong for Fly, because you see they commit, they try to hit the tower, and then they just get chased out by GENG now. GENG don't actually get any kills, they just get a bunch of summoners, use all their ults, and then are able to rotate themselves to the Herald, because if you have a comp like Fly, then you cannot be the one to be proactive and move forward, because, well, then GENG actually get a good engage angle, and then they can play the game again and do what Eastern teams tend to do to Western teams, which is hand stiff them and outfight them. So yeah, that does cost FlyQuest the Herald, but not a big deal. A few minutes later, FlyQuest show the good part of their hand again, where you can see just exact same scenario here. Observers even showed really nicely from GENG POV. Fly is just sitting on the Drake. They can have all the control in the world, everything they could ever possibly want. And yeah, Legends just does one overstep, and then as a reaction to him walking in, just gets bombed. And then again, Fly go a tad bit too deep. Like Bippo just feels the fist a bit too much, gets scoundreled into tower, and ends up being 1-for-1 trade. But it's still fine for Fly, because this time they do manage to secure the objective off the back of it, and are now in a position where they have Soul Point, they have a 3k gold league, and a great scaling comp. So at this point, there's not even really that much more to be done, other than look at the actual eventual highlight of the game, which is, well, the last Drake fight, where pretty much the same thing happens with one extra nice nuance that I would like to show you guys, which is, well, you would think that Fly wants to not 50-50 Drake, right? But as you can see here, once the Drake is spawned, they're actually hitting it quite a bit. And to me, this initially looked pretty risky until you notice what Busio and Whippo are doing, which is they see Canyon here, right? And that's the only guy with Smite. So therefore, they both, if you watch, they both just insta-go on him and make sure that he cannot play. You see how Busio is positioning? Fly want to finish this Drake off, smite it, and then Busio is ready to disengage Canyon, like W him away, Q him, in case he wants to go and try and go for a seal. So that's pretty much exactly what happens. Canyon also like sees what's going on, so he doesn't even try. And then with the Mountain Soul, the game is just unlosable for Flycast from this point. They just run down GG. And then after that, take a clean game 1 victory. And even though, well, the ending was one of the most bittersweet things I've seen in a while, it's still like very valiant effort. And especially this game, I think, highlights very nicely the qualities that FlyQuest came to show this game. So I hope you enjoyed this. Stick around for more content like this. If you have any feedback, please do leave it in the comments, goddamn English language, and join my Discord server, link to which you can also find in the description. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.